Yeah. I swear we all in good health. Don't eat no food off the shelf. I get it fresh off the vine, fresh from the root alkaline. Get the cabbage, then I shine. Hit my morning exercise, I swear. We all in good health over here. What? We all in good health over here. What? We all in good health over here. Over here.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Natasha Pennant, also known as the Health Conscious Diva, and I am coming to you today from a different thought of life. I have had the most amazing and crazy year and some change. And literally it has brought me to a place where I really had to come back to being myself. It took so much time and it took so much energy, but you want to know what? I am here and I am ready to continue my journey to show others what it is to live a healthier lifestyle and get themselves on track to make sure that they don't have to go through what I went through. So let's just take it to this point. Imagine that you had something that you were dealing with, and it was not exactly the best thing to be going through. But at the same token, you finally got to a point where you beat that thing. You got over it. It was a big success, so big to the point that you were crying about the victory that you had over it, okay? Imagine that during the time that you didn't have to worry about that, you were doing all kinds of things, traveling, building a business, hosting classes. You were doing so many different things that was, on your bucket list that you wanted to be able to do. And then all of a sudden, something happens that puts you into a place where you can no longer do those things. Puts you into a place where you had no idea that this could even ever happen. That's exactly what happened to me. For those of you who do not know me already, I was diagnosed with a condition called postpartum cardiomyopathy in the year 2000. All throughout my son's life, I was sick. When he turned 16 years old, which was 2016, it was the first time in that many years that I was actually able to say, I am well. My heart is no longer sick. Not that I wasn't saying it before, because it was definitely on my affirmations list. However, literally, my heart was no longer sick. Fast forward to 2019, all of a sudden, I'm going through things that I never even knew that I would be going through. I'm in the hospital. I'm laying in the bed. I can't walk. I have no muscle strength. Everything just changed. And it seemed like it happened overnight. I had gotten an infection, and that infection actually led me to a point where all of my organs were starting to shut down. My heart was literally at like 5% ejection fraction. And for those of you who don't know what an ejection fraction is, imagine that you have, I have this vitamin water. Imagine that you have a bottle and it's filled with water. That's 100% of your blood. Your heart will pump through about 55 to 65% of that blood. So say it's about this much, and you'll have a reserve. Well, the normal heart can pump that. Now my heart was pumping 5%. So let's just go all the way down to here. So that's about how much blood my heart was pumping, if that. And unfortunately, because of that, I had a lot of oxygen that was not getting to my brain. I had to deal with my speech being messed up, literally to the point where they were testing me to make sure I didn't have a mini stroke. Like, I sounded like somebody who could hear but not speak. So, if you've ever heard someone who, I guess that's mute. If you've ever heard somebody, and I don't want to, say the wrong term, but if you've ever heard somebody that can't speak, you notice that their speech is more like a kind of a talk, and that's exactly how I was sounding. And the funny thing about that is it didn't even happen until the evening, every evening in the hospital. And unfortunately, we still to this day don't even know what that was. It's just that my oxygen levels were just way too low. It was hard because I couldn't eat and keep food down. It was hard because I literally was scared because I had went through a whole thing of needing to go to the hospital last winter. Well, not last winter, but the winter before that. And I was too scared to go to the hospital. And that was also a part of what made it even worse. So a lot of things happened. And then once I had gotten a heart transplant, which was the result and everything to help me get better, um, once I had to go through the heart transplant and all of my other organs like my liver, my kidneys, my gallbladder were actually doing a lot better. Well, here comes the task of having to come back to where you see me at today. So I had to learn how to walk. I have I had to learn how to stand, let alone walk. I had to build muscle strength to stand up. And the problem when you have something like a heart transplant is your whole sternum is cut. So they don't allow you to use both of your hands to help you. You can only use one because you don't want to pull open back the, skeletal structure and pull it apart. So what I had to do was get the strength to use one arm to do everything and use, the other arm stays still or closer to my body. And that was one of the hardest things. It was hard to sit down. It was hard to stand up. It was hard to go upstairs. It was hard to get in a car. It was hard to do so many things. But with time and perseverance and everything else, cardio rehab, I was able to get over that. And then I had to deal with other things that came up. I had to deal with the fact that I had actually lost a lot of my hair. And for those of you who know who I am, my hair was actually growing. It was a journey that I took pictures of. I took videos of, going natural from having a relaxer. And then now, hair that was down my back is barely even touching my ears. So not like that anymore, but, it's another setback that happened. Not to mention that another one was that, and when everybody started to learn about the coronavirus and all of that was going on, I got plagued with a different kind of a virus that a lot of people who have heart transplants can get, and it's actually even harder for us to fight because our immune systems are being suppressed. So I actually had to go through with that and have a lot of other things happen, like my vision got jacked up, and it's just a lot of things that I went through. But I am proud to say that I am able to sit here right here in front of you right now, and I'm actually going to go through a list of things that you can do to overcome a setback. Because let me tell you something, it'll bring you to one of the darkest places if you do not have the right mind frame to come back to where you were before and even get better than where you were before. Let's face it, as much as I had reversed my heart condition, I actually still wasn't in a better place because I was still dealing with a heart that had been sick for a very, very long time. And the real reality of it is it was not 100% healthy. I was still in the stages, which meant it was susceptible to anything to come its way. And that's exactly what happened. So we're going to go over 7 things, or should I say 7 ways that you can overcome a setback. All right. So number one is set aside your pride. A lot of times people have it in their minds that either they're going to be stuck that way or nothing's going to change or they're in a bad spot or no, don't think that way. What you need to do is overcome your pride. Make sure that you are in a place where you can be like, you know what? I know that this is happening right now, but guess what? We're going to be in a better place. Or set your affirmations. One of the things that I always did prior to the heart transplant when I got well the first time was I said my affirmations, and I've always done so. So you say, I am healthy. I am doing better. I can walk. I can move. I am able to exercise. Focus on whatever it is that you can. A lot of the times you'll find that if you focus on what it is that is working for you rather than what is not, it helps you to be more positive than negative thinking in what it is that you need to do. So just set your pride aside. Make sure that you are saying, what you can do, what you will do, and everything will start to fall into place. Okay. So number 2, you want to make sure that you ask for help. When you ask people for help, is another way of letting go of that pride, but at the same token, it brings people to your aid. Not all the time can we do everything by ourselves. As much as we want to say that we can't always do that. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it is. I know, been there, done that. When you have to have people helping you to get in and out of the shower, you have to have a walker, you have to have a shower chair, a wheelchair. I had all of that. However, with the help of not just the medical staff, not just my physical and occupational therapists, and not just my family, like friends and everybody on the in between. I made sure that I had that help. I asked for all of that help, even setting up a prayer line on the day that I had my transplant. On Facebook, I did that, and a lot of people came to the aid. And it wasn't just the people that I asked, but they also asked, and it was a big, blessing that was put upon me because of the fact that people had their congregations praying, they had their family members praying. Like, it was just amazing. So you always want to make sure that you ask for the help that you need, be it spiritual, be it physical, emotional. Sometimes you just need to get over what it is that you're going through because the emotions are a little bit too much for you. So in any way that you can get somebody to help you, make sure that you are getting someone to help. Number 3, you want to make sure that you set small but smart goals. Small but smart goals. You cannot say that you couldn't walk yesterday, but tomorrow you got to run a marathon. You can't do that. Let's be real. In order to make any goal, you're better off setting aside small goals that you can achieve and building on them step by step by step than making a big goal that's going to discourage you to no longer do what it is that you need to do to overcome your setback. So let's say where walking is concerned. There's a people that go through things and they can't walk. So start by walking in your living room. When that feels more comfortable, walk up and down your driveway. If you don't have a driveway, just walk to your mailbox and back. You can't do that, just walk out the door, get some air, and come back inside. Literally, you're still walking, okay? Once you have accomplished that, then you can start to walk down the street. You can start to walk around the block. You can start to walk through your community. And then you can make sure that you're doing other things, more adventurous. You want to go through different parks. You want to go longer. The thing about it is, once you get to a certain time limit or a certain distance, then you can actually challenge yourself to do more things once that feels more comfortable. However, you can't just do it all at one time. It's not going to work that way, and it's not going to be easy for you. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. So you want to make sure that you have SMART goals. Make sure that they're small, measurable, attainable. You want to make sure that they are reachable and timely. Everything in that, make sure that everything that you are trying to do is just in small steps. You don't want to go ahead and make it too big. Number 4, take your time. You didn't get to where you are today overnight. So therefore, it's not going to take overnight to get you back to where you were. Make sure that you're taking your time. You don't have to rush to do things. For instance, if somebody in my position rushes to do something, we're in a position now where our hearts are denerved. So we don't even have the nerve function from the brain to the heart to let it know what's happening. And that can be damaging. So for us physically, it'll actually happen. But for other people, you want to make sure that you're taking your time. Don't expect for things to happen according to your schedule. Everything will actually happen according to plan. And you just want to make sure that you're not rushing things. You want to make sure that you're going with the flow. If something feels like it's a little bit easy to do, then you can go ahead and step it up and do, more. But in the meantime, you want to make sure that you are taking your time and not rushing through things. Number 5, celebrate your success. Every goal that you attain, make sure you are able to celebrate it in the best way possible. I reached my 1 year anniversary in August this year for my heart transplant, and we had cake, we had balloons, we had whatever it was that we could just celebrate. I celebrated when I was able to walk. I celebrated when I came home. I celebrated, finishing cardio rehab. Everything I did, I celebrated. You got to make sure that you're celebrating your successes, just so that you know that it was something big. It's not little. It's not something that you brush underneath the rug and be like, oh, well, I did that. It's big. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate anything that you can that is that goal that you achieved. It makes you feel good, and it makes you want to go to the bonus, which is to do it all again. That's right. Once you achieve that goal, especially the small ones, make it so that you actually go along and set more goals. Set more goals and achieve those. Because the more goals that you set, the more you can achieve. And then the fun thing about it is you'll probably be challenging yourself to see just how far you can go. It actually becomes a self competition rather than a competition with anybody else out here, because you're actually pushing your limits at that point. And you might be able to do uh, a lot better than what you were doing before you even had your setback. So definitely make sure to continue to set your goals, continue to move forward, and you'll be able to um, overcome your setbacks in no time. So let's go ahead and recap. Okay. So number one, you want to make sure that you are setting aside your pride. You don't want to make it so that you are the reason that you are not making it. Okay. Number two, ask for help. You want to make sure that you are not alone in your journey. You want to make sure that you have all of the help that you can get. If you can't get it from somebody that is close to you, like a family member or a friend, see if there are different groups that you can join. There are all kinds of support groups on Facebook. There are all kinds of support groups that are physical if you want to get out and about, especially once this COVID is over. But you want to make sure that you have somebody support and that you can have people that you can talk to. It's always great to have a support group because of the fact that you have people who understand what you're going through versus people who might see that you're going through something but don't really understand what it is that you're going through. So it really helps, and you have a lot of different people that you can speak with on the same topic that you're undergoing. Okay, so number three is set your small goals, your small but smart goals. Make sure that you're setting those goals so that you can achieve them, so that you can continue on to the next step and not have any kind of an issue with not reaching those goals. Okay. Number four, take your time. Don't rush into anything. Don't make it seem like you got to get it done in the next 2 days. You have time in your life. Make sure that you are taking the time so that you're not going to force yourself to go into another setback. How about that? Make sure that you are taking your time. Number five, celebrate your success. Your success is highly important. It's very important so that you can make sure you are getting the it's very important so you can see just how far you've gone and how much further you need to go. It is a milestone. So just like you have your birthdays at 10, at 14, at 16, at 18, at 21, and then the zeros come into play, you want to make sure that you're doing the same thing with your goals. And the bonus, once you have reached the goal, do it all again. Start from the beginning and continue to go, because where you end up might be better than where you originally started from. So, if in fact you want to follow me, I hope that you do. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You can follow the Health Conscious Diva, and you will find me there. Different posts and different things that I'm doing. getting back into the flow of things still. So I'm looking forward to bringing back my cooking classes, which is the Purple Soul Kitchen. I'm looking forward to having my talks a little bit more often. There's so much more that I want to do, and I'm so happy that I've been given this second chance at life where I can actually show everybody exactly what they can do to live a happier and healthier life. You can also join my Facebook group, which is Healthy is the New Sexy. And there you will get some information on health and wellness. I pass out different kinds of articles. I give out different things for you to think about where your health is concerned, because the main thing about our health is that we were taught the wrong things to begin with, unfortunately, and now we have to actually reprogram our minds, reprogram our bodies so that we can live healthier. And that includes the foods that you eat. Don't think that your food is the same food that your grandmom and them used to eat, because it's not. It hasn't been for over 25 years. So you just want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Same thing with the products that you put on your skin. Same thing with whatever you use in your hair. You want to make sure that you're using a better brand, a better type of product. So I want to thank you all for watching. Definitely join me on my next videos. I am so happy that I am back, and I'm happy that I'm able to speak with y'all. So take care, have a good one, and I will see you on the next video.